Hey everyone, do you know people like this? People in their 70s who are still living as vibrantly as those in their 20s and 30s. When you see them, it's really amazing, isn't it? You've probably thought, what on earth are they eating to look so young? Actually, the secret is simpler than you think. It's all about proper protein intake. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 miracle proteins that seniors must include in their diet to feel 50 at 70. What's truly amazing is that the foods I'm introducing today are commonly found in supermarkets. Yet most seniors don't realize their true value and just pass them by. Some dismiss them saying, "What's so great about this?" While others avoid them thinking, "Isn't this just for young people?" But after watching this video to the end, your perspective on these foods at the supermarket will completely change. Oh, and especially the third food is particularly good for those with diabetes, and there's a surprising reason why. If consumed incorrectly, it can actually be harmful. So you really need to watch until the end. If you properly include just these 3 proteins, 70 will truly feel like 50. In fact, someone I know became able to climb stairs without any difficulty after just 6 months using this method, and another person even started playing soccer with their grandchild. So let me explain everything step by step from now on. Even if the video is a bit long, please don't skip and watch until the end. This is precious information that can truly change the rest of your life. But wait, do you have any of these symptoms lately? When you wake up in the morning, do you find it difficult to get out of bed thinking, my legs have no strength? You used to just pop right up, but now you're lifting yourself up with an right? Or maybe this happens too. When you're walking to the supermarket or hospital you usually go to, you think, wait, was I always this slow at walking? It's kind of discouraging when young people breeze past you, isn't it? There was someone among my mother's friends like this. She's 73 years old and she always ate well and thought she was healthy. But one day she started making an oof sound every time she got up from a chair. She had to hold onto the wall to get up from the toilet seat, and she couldn't climb stairs at all without a handrail. At first she dismissed it thinking, I guess it's because I'm getting old. But as it got progressively worse, she started to worry. Especially in the evening, her energy would completely drain, and while she used to wash dishes efficiently after dinner, now she doesn't want to get up once she sits on the sofa. Have you had experiences like this too? When you think, I'm not like I used to be. The most frustrating thing is probably when your grandchildren come over saying, Grandma, Grandpa, play with us. But you can't run around with them like before, right? Your mind feels like it's in your 20s or 30s, but your body doesn't cooperate, so it's really frustrating. But what's even more unfortunate is that people think these symptoms are just because of age. Of course, there are natural changes as we age, but losing stamina this rapidly is absolutely not normal. Actually, even at the same age, some people live really vibrantly, don't they? People in their 70s who go hiking, travel, and even exercise. What's different about them? That's exactly where today's key point lies. Don't just give up saying, it's because I'm old. From now on, please listen carefully to what I'm about to share. So why does this happen? Most seniors think like this, oh, I'm lacking protein. Then I just need to eat more meat. Have you thought this way? So you try to eat more pork belly, more ribs, and make sure to have more chicken. But wait a minute. Let me tell you a really shocking fact. Actually, in one study that examined the diets of people in their 70s, the daily protein intake itself was sufficient. In fact, many people were consuming more than the recommended amount. But despite this, muscle mass continued to decrease and stamina kept declining. Then what's the problem? This is exactly the key point. It's not about eating a lot of protein, but about proper digestion and absorption. Think about it. Are your digestive organs the same in your 20s as in your 70s? Absolutely not. As we age, stomach acid secretion decreases, digestive enzymes decline, and intestinal absorption capacity drops. To be more specific, after age 60, stomach acid secretion drops to less than half of what it was in your 20s. What happens when stomach acid is insufficient? No matter how much protein you eat, it won't be properly broken down. It's like putting tough meat in water and just leaving it there. No matter how long you leave it, it won't get tender, right? So what happens is, even if you diligently eat meat, you just feel bloated, it doesn't digest properly, and the amino acids that should go to your muscles aren't absorbed properly. Especially, there's something our parents' generation often says, right? These days when I eat meat, I get indigestion. You've heard this a lot, haven't you? This is exactly the phenomenon that occurs when digestive capacity declines. So what should we do? First, you need to choose easily digestible forms of protein, rather than large chunks of meat, proteins that are already somewhat broken down or in a form that our bodies can easily process. Second, you need to find proteins with high absorption rates. Even if you eat the same amount, the amount that actually enters your body is different. Just like with $100 bills, some are new, and some are too worn to use proteins. Also have completely different utilization rates depending on the type. Third, you need to consume them at the right timing and in the right way for our aging bodies. Not eating a huge amount all at once like when we were young, but eating the amount our bodies can handle, divided into appropriate times. Actually, a grandmother I know changed her diet after learning this principle, and she became a completely different person in just 3 months. She used to have to take a taxi after grocery shopping at the supermarket, but now she can walk all the way home. So what proteins exactly meet these conditions? Right now, I'm going to tell you about those 3 miracle proteins, one by one. You're going to be amazed. The first protein I'll tell you about is anchovies. Everyone, when you think of anchovies, what comes to mind? Oh, just something for making broth. Something annoying to eat because of the bones. That's what you think, right? But let me tell you a really shocking fact. Anchovies are actually better protein for senior muscles than eggs or beef. You might say, no way, but there's solid scientific evidence. First, in 100 grams of anchovies, there's a whopping 72 grams of protein. Do you know how amazing that number is? Considering beef has 20 grams and chicken breast has 23 grams, it's more than 3 times as much. What's even more amazing is that anchovy protein has an amino acid score that's close to 100 points. What this means is that it contains all the amino acids our bodies need to build muscle in the perfect ratio. Especially, it contains an enormous amount of taurine, which is important for seniors. What taurine does is reduce muscle fatigue and improve muscle contraction. That's why people who regularly eat anchovies say things like, "My legs feel stronger," and "climbing stairs has become easier." Actually, there's a 72-year-old grandmother I know. She ate 1 spoonful of stir-fried anchovies every day, and in just 3 months she could walk around the neighborhood without a cane. She was amazed herself. But they're hard to eat because of the bones. What should I do? This is exactly the point. Anchovy bones are soft, so you can just chew and eat them. You actually get bonus calcium too. The easiest method is to use anchovy powder. Just buy anchovy powder from the supermarket and sprinkle 1 spoonful on your rice, that's it. It's savory and nutritionally excellent. Or you can make a lot of stir-fried anchovies at once, keep them in the refrigerator, and eat a little bit every day. The recipe is simple too. Stir-fry anchovies in a pan, add some nuts and a little syrup, and you're done. Here's one more important tip. It's better to eat anchovies in the evening rather than in the morning. Because taurine helps with muscle recovery, if you eat them before bed, your muscles will be built better while you sleep. Next, the second protein that's just as surprising as anchovies is tofu. Tofu? That has no taste and is bland. What's so good about it? I expected that reaction, but wait a minute. I think you've completely misunderstood tofu. Let me explain why tofu is a miracle protein for seniors. The most amazing thing is the digestibility rate. Tofu's protein digestibility rate is an incredible 95%. To show you how amazing that number is, meat is only about 70 to 80%. For seniors with reduced stomach acid, it's truly the perfect protein. What's even more important is a component in tofu called isoflavones. What these do is prevent muscle mass loss while also strengthening bones. Especially for female seniors, they even help with hormone balance. Actually, there was a study in Japan targeting people 70 and older. Those who ate 100 grams of tofu every day for 6 months maintained 15% more muscle mass than those who didn't. But tofu really has no flavor. That's exactly the point. You've been eating tofu the wrong way all this time. You should never eat tofu plain. You must eat it with a protein partner. The best combination is tofu plus kimchi stew. The lactic acid bacteria in kimchi increase tofu protein absorption by more than double. Plus, the spiciness of kimchi promotes digestive fluid secretion, making it perfect for seniors lacking stomach acid. Another golden combination is braised tofu. When cooked with soy sauce, garlic, and green onions, the taste improves and nutrient absorption becomes much better. Here's an important tip. When buying tofu, make sure to choose one made with domestic soybeans. It has over 20% higher protein content than imported ones. And firm tofu contains more protein than silken tofu. How much should you eat per day? About the size of your palm, approximately 100 to 150 grams is enough. It's better to eat it at lunch or dinner rather than breakfast. The last one will really surprise you. It's okara, which is soy pulp. Okara? Isn't that something you throw away? Isn't that the leftover waste from making tofu? That's right, but that very waste is a treasure for seniors. The most amazing characteristic of okara is that it's packed with protein without raising blood sugar. Generally, when you eat carbohydrates and protein together, blood sugar rises, but okara has so much dietary fiber that it actually stabilizes blood sugar. In 100 grams of okara, there's 14 grams of protein, plus there's 15 grams of dietary fiber, so for seniors suffering from constipation, it's killing two birds with one stone. What's even more amazing is that there are special components only found in okara. Oligosaccharides and saponins, these increase beneficial gut bacteria and even boost immunity. As we age, immunity declines, but okara prevents this. Actually, a 75-year-old grandfather with diabetes ate okara stew every day, and in 3 months, his hemoglobin. A1C dropped from 8.5 to 7.2. Even his doctor was amazed. How should you eat it? The easiest method is okara stew. Buy fresh okara from the supermarket and boil it with kimchi or pork. It's really delicious. Here's one more tip. When making okara stew, if you add 1 spoonful of perilla powder, the savory flavor doubles and you get bonus omega-3. Or okra pancakes are also good. Add 1 egg and a little pancake mix to okara, cook it, and you have a protein powerhouse. There are also precautions. Okara has a lot of moisture, so it spoils easily. Cook it right after buying or freeze it before use. And start with a small amount at first. If you suddenly eat a lot, you might feel bloated. If you properly include just these 3 things, you'll really experience amazing changes. But what's more important is how you combine them. I'll tell you the secret from now on. Actually, many seniors make this mistake. They eat good foods separately, one at a time. Anchovies today, tofu tomorrow, okara the day after, like that. But if you do this, you only get half the effect. Why? Our bodies work much more efficiently when working together rather than alone. Like an orchestra, each nutrient needs to harmonize to produce the best effect. So let me tell you one by one which combinations are the best. First, let me tell you about the golden combinations that improve absorption. Eat anchovies with brown rice. Huh? Brown rice? You might say, but this is a really important combination. The B vitamins in brown rice help break down anchovy protein into amino acids. The absorption rate is over 30% higher than just sprinkling anchovy powder on white rice. Actually, a grandfather I know ate this way, and even with the same amount of anchovies, the effect was definitely different. He said, "I can definitely feel the strength in my body." The second golden combination is tofu with seaweed soup. The iodine in seaweed helps thyroid hormone secretion, making protein metabolism more active. Plus, alginic acid, the sticky component in seaweed, increases tofu isoflavone absorption by more than double. This is a really good combination, especially for women. After menopause, as hormone balance collapses, muscle mass rapidly decreases, but this combination prevents that. The third is okara with spinach. When the iron in spinach meets okara protein, hemoglobin production in the blood becomes active. When oxygen supply improves, muscle recovery speeds up and stamina improves too. When making okara stew with this combination, you should add spinach at the end. If you boil it too long, the nutrients get destroyed. But on the flip side, there are combinations to avoid. If you eat these without knowing, even good protein's effects are halved. The first combination you absolutely must avoid is anchovies with black tea. The tannin component in black tea binds with anchovy protein and interferes with absorption. You shouldn't drink black tea or green tea right after eating stir-fried anchovies. Wait at least 30 minutes. Instead, after eating anchovies, it's good to drink warm barley tea or water. It helps digestion and improves absorption. The second is boiling tofu and spinach together. Wait, didn't you just say spinach was good? You might say, but that was the okara and spinach combination. If you boil tofu and spinach together for a long time, the oxalic acid in spinach binds with the calcium in tofu and interferes with absorption. If you want to eat tofu and spinach together, blanch the spinach first to remove the oxalic acid, then use it. The third is okara with milk. Both are rich in protein, so it seems like they'd be good, but actually they interfere with each other's absorption. Okara's dietary fiber blocks milk's calcium absorption, and milk's casein interferes with Okara's isoflavone absorption. If you want to drink milk after eating Okara, wait about 2 hours. Now let me tell you some tips you can easily use in your daily life. First, how to make preparation easier. Many seniors give up saying, it's too much trouble to prepare every day. For anchovies, stir-fry a week's worth all at once on Sunday. Stir-fry about 300 grams of anchovies with nuts and syrup, store in an airtight container, and you're good for a week. Just sprinkle 1 spoonful on your rice every day. Buy tofu strategically from the start. Buy 1 block, cook half right away, and put half in the freezer. Frozen tofu changes texture and gets a chewy, meat-like quality. Thaw it and eat it braised or stir-fried. It's really delicious. When buying Okara at the supermarket, buy several packs and freeze them right away. Each time you use it, take one out and make stew right away. Even frozen, the nutrients are maintained. Another tip is to create a protein schedule. In the morning, start with soft proteins like Okara stew or braised tofu. When your stomach is empty in the morning, you should eat easily digestible things first. At lunch, eat heartier combinations like tofu kimchi stew or anchovy fried rice. You need to supply enough energy for daytime activities. In the evening, eat stir-fried anchovies or braised tofu simply. Before bed, eating too much burdens digestion, so it's better to eat moderately. One more really important tip. When eating these 3 proteins, be sure to drink plenty of water. You should drink at least 8 glasses a day. Especially Okara has a lot of dietary fiber, so if water is insufficient, you might actually get constipated. And chew slowly and thoroughly. As we age, saliva secretion also decreases, but if you chew enough, more digestive enzymes come out and absorption becomes much better. If you use all these combinations and tips, you'll really experience amazing changes. But the most important thing is consistency. Don't eat for a day or two and say it doesn't work. Try it consistently for at least a month or even 3 months. Then you'll really meet a changed version of yourself. Now, shall we talk about something really important? Have you been thinking while listening? But I'm already 70. At this point, nothing will work anyway. Absolutely not. I say this with real confidence. Age really is just a number. Muscles can be rebuilt any time at any age. Whether you're 70 or 80, it doesn't matter. Your muscle cells are still alive and breathing, waiting for good protein to come in. Let me tell you stories of people I've taught these methods to. 73-year-old Mrs. Park sprinkled anchovy powder on her rice every day, and in just 2 months she could go to the market without a cane. She was so happy, saying, I never thought this would happen. 76-year-old Mr. Kim consistently ate braised tofu, and as a result, in 4 months he could run around the neighborhood with his grandchild. His grandchild was amazed, saying, Grandpa, you're this fast. And 78-year-old Mrs. Lee enjoyed eating Okara stew for 3 months, and her diabetes numbers improved amazingly. Even her doctor asked, What did you do to get this much better? Are these people special? No. They're ordinary seniors just like you. If there's one difference, it's that they didn't give up and consistently practiced. So I earnestly ask you, from today, start with just one of the 3. Don't be greedy, just start slowly with the easiest one. If anchovies are most familiar to you, when you go to the supermarket tomorrow, just buy anchovy powder. And every day, just sprinkle 1 teaspoon on a bowl of rice. That's the start. If tofu is more familiar, try making braised tofu once this week. With just soy sauce, sugar, and garlic, anyone can make it. There's nothing difficult about it. If you want to try Okara, make simple Okara stew once on the weekend. You'll be amazed at how delicious it is. What's important isn't doing it perfectly, but starting. At first, you'll be doubtful, thinking, will this really work? But after just 2 weeks, you'll definitely notice, huh? When I wake up in the morning, my legs hurt a little less. It'll start with small changes like this. After a month, you'll think, my body feels a bit lighter these days. And after 2 months, people around you will say, hey, you look so much better lately. But here's a really special proposal I want to make. Would you like to take on the challenge with me for 30 days? For 30 days. Eat at least one of these 3 proteins consistently, and please definitely tell me in the comments what changes you experience. I tried eating anchovy powder for 30 days, and this change happened. I made and ate braised tofu for a month, and something amazing. The real effect of Okara stew was this. Please share your real experiences. Those stories will become hope and courage for other seniors. When we're together, we really get more strength. Alone, there are times you want to give up, but with people who have the same goal, you can do it to the end. Let's encourage each other in the comments, share experiences, and sometimes overcome difficulties together to create real change. Before you know it, you'll also hear people say, "You're 70 but look 50." Finally, if today's video helped even a little, please press that like button. And if you have anyone around you with similar concerns, please share this video. Good information has real value only when shared. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. I plan to continue bringing really practical information for seniors' healthy and vibrant retirement. I'm preparing only content that you really need, that you can practice right away. Thank you so much for listening all the way through this really long video today. Everyone stay healthy, and let's definitely meet again in the comments in 30 days with good news. Remember, age really is just a number. Your body is still ready to change. Start today, start now. If it's you, you can definitely do it.